At the end of the last video, I indicated that I would show you how I deal with this space at the top. I've adjusted this pattern so that all of this top part of the pattern is outside the boundary. Now, if I select all repeats in this top row and do an inside fill, it will get rid of all of these parts that are outside the boundary, and that way I won't have this open space along the top of the quilt. And when I get to the bottom, I will do the same thing. I have only selected the top row. I right click, go down and select fill inside, and I let Creative Studio do its calculations. Notice it says that it is calculating, and you can see the bar at the bottom showing that it's doing its work. Creative Studio has finished doing the removal of this top part of this pattern. Now when it gets to, it'll sew this part, and when it gets to where it would chop that off, it'll just sew right along the boundary to the next point, and then it will sew the next one. And again, it'll sew until it gets to this point, and it'll sew right along the boundary again. So this will all be in the boundary line, or it'll be in the binding line of that quilt, of the edge of the quilt. That's how you get rid of the top part of a pattern that you don't want to leave an open space unquilted. When I get to the bottom of the quilt, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to eliminate those parts that's going to be down, and that would leave this open space unquilted. So I'll do the same thing. I'll do a fill inside. What I like about repeat patterns is, when I get to the bottom of the quilt, I'll start measuring several rows from the bottom, and if I need to, after I've quilted a row, I can toggle that row as unsewn, and I can quilt it again, giving me additional rows to work with, so that I'll have an extra row at the bottom to do this removal of the bottom of this pattern using fill inside. This is one of many ways that I use repeat patterns to do all my edge-to-edge quilting. It's just a matter of taking the time to figure out what you have to do to make the pattern fit the way that you want it to fit, without having the pattern stretched in the vertical dimension and having the nesting appear exactly the way you want it to appear. Shortly, as time permits, I'll have more videos on this type of subject, and I'll also start having videos on Creative Studio version 4.1, and it won't take me that long, I don't think, to do all of that. It'll just be a matter of looking at the different corrections and features that Matt has come up with to make the quilting better, easier, and more reliable.